Good evening. It's Tuesday, July 7th. It's 6:32 p.m. And Worldometer says reset. It's time to look at the numbers, and then we'll look at some recent news. It was a big day for numbers, as expected, being a Tuesday. We're averaging now over 200,000 new cases a day. Number one in new cases is the USA with 55,000 new cases. Brazil second at 48,000. India third at 23,000. South Africa fourth at 10,000. Deaths, first place was Brazil at 1,312. USA at 993. Mexico 480. India 479. Um, let's look at USA state by state. Number one for new cases in states was Texas at 9,414. Second, California, 8,631. LA County is now, several counties in LA are back to reporting. Some numbers allegedly went missing. They explained it in the notes section. Florida is third at 7,000. Arizona fourth at 3,600. Death wise, California, I think that's the highest they've ever had. 118 deaths. Arizona 117. Texas 85. Florida 63. Let's take a look at California real quick, just because I'm in LA County, where it's getting really bad. Well, it's basically another epicenter. So for California, LA, I think they made the excuse that these are backlogs. 4,000 new cases if we round. 45 deaths. Second is Riverside, 974 cases, deaths 20. Orange, 737. What is Imperial? Imperial fell down. That's actually pretty good. Hopefully it's not some manipulation going on. In terms of news, so here we go. New York Governor Cuomo says President Donald Trump is enabling the coronavirus pandemic. And yet, what did this man Cuomo do? What did this man Cuomo, that is hailed as a progressive, do? New York hospitals send some 6,300 coronavirus patients to nursing homes, officials say, as Cuomo tries to deflect. Embarrassing. And pathetic. Australia deploys police army to enforce border closure amid COVID-19 outbreak. So Australia is back on the lockdown. They cannot contain the virus. New Zealand to limit returning citizens as quarantine facilities fill up. Again, New Zealand, who was hailed for containing the virus, is now suffering from outbreaks. Spanish study casts doubt on herd immunity feasibility. The study of more than 60,000 people estimates that around just 5% of the Spanish population has developed antibodies. The medical journal The Lancet reported. Herd immunity is achieved when enough people become infected with a virus to stop its spread. Around 70% to 90% of the population needs to be immune to protect the uninfected. Despite the high impact of COVID-19 in Spain, prevalence estimates remain low and are clearly insufficient to provide herd immunity, the study's authors said in the report. 97% of inmates at Nueces County Mackenzie Jail Annex test positive for SARS-2. That's very alarming. I mean, it's a small jail, but the fact that 97% of the inmates are all infected and also staff shows you that this virus is possibly much more contagious than what's known. Trump administration moves to formally withdraw U.S. from WHO. I mean, the WHO are laughable. Honestly, they're always backtracking and straight up lying. They're obviously, held on the leash by China. Completely discredited. UK pubs close again after punters test positive for SARS-2. I saw the post yesterday how the drinkers were, celebrating the pubs opening, and then once nighttime hits, they started acting like fools and getting drunk and huddling up. And it was obvious this was going to happen. This was not. I already knew this was not going to end well. Leader of St. Pete Black Lives Matter protest tests positive for SARS-2 and has fallen ill. Maryland has surpassed 70,000 confirmed cases of SARS-2, and a total of 3,140 people have died as a result of the virus. I'm just real paranoid. It's best to be paranoid right now. You don't know what's going on. Too many people are dying, said Baltimore resident Deborah Trusty. A Texas medical center employee who hasn't seen her husband in 4 months wants people to take the virus seriously so she can go home. A 37-year-old advanced clinical education specialist is one of the many healthcare workers around the U.S. who made the tough decision to move out of their home to ensure that they don't expose their families to the virus. Again, there's a lot of people that are in this situation. They don't want. They're too scared to go home. 14 Hawaiian airline flight attendants test positive for SARS-2. Again, a state that was hailed for controlling the virus is now seeing these kind of outbreaks happening. President Bolsonaro of Brazil tests positive for SARS-2. That's possible he already had it before then. They just tried to cover it up as much as they wanted to. There's also the possibility that this could be a stunt for him to get sick and get better and say, you know what, it really is nothing. Who knows? But the world's laughing at him now because he was the biggest nothing burger president that we had seen out of the whole bunch of loonies. U.S. Senate poised to move forward on new virus relief bill later this month. I mean, again, they can bail out the billionaires as they've been doing this entire time. How the Fed is pumping money into the stock market to protect the stocks of the billionaires, and yet they can't decide over to sending some checks to the poor, many who are out of money, can't even pay their rent. Because I know people here that just can no longer pay rent. There's no money left. And now Mitch McConnell is trying to play like the hero, saying that we need a new check. No, the guy is a scum. And, you know, the poor need help. It's not their fault that the virus caused a lot of them to lose their jobs and lose their income. At least 8 Mississippi lawmakers test positive for the virus. Texas says new virus cases jumped by more than 10,000 for the first time. And 43 Florida ICUs reach capacity, show no beds available as virus cases surge. So it's going to be a rough week, a very rough week. But this is where we're at right now. I think I'll make a few more videos. I got a couple of reports to talk about. I got some special stuff lined up. And so I'll see you guys tomorrow, or actually later on, and actually in a couple of minutes.